Hey guys and girls, and welcome back to the #1 channel on real estate. Now, before we get started, make sure to hit that like button. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to be a part of the Daily Hit family. Don't forget to stay until the end of the video to see tips for short-term rentals. Alright, let's get back to the video. Are short-term rentals really making real estate more affordable and accessible? It can be hard to know if short-term rentals are right for you. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and it's tough to figure out what's true and what's not. In this video, I share 4 tips that will help you decide if short-term rentals are right for you. These tips will help you understand the pros and cons of this type of rental, so that you can make an informed decision about whether or not it's right for you. 4 short-term rental tips. Do you want more flexibility? Short-term rentals may be the answer. Life doesn't always progress in neat 12-month increments. Whatever your reasons, short-term rentals offer flexibility and might be your next right move. But they don't always work exactly like traditional rentals. So here's what you need to know about short-term rentals. A short-term rental is an apartment or other rental property with a lease that is less than a typical 12-month agreement, typically 6 months or less. The flexibility short-term rentals offer is often offset by higher rental rates or other unique lease features, like automatically renewing at the end of each lease cycle. Common with month-to-month leases. Here's how to find a short-term rental. Number 1. Filter your rental search. You can search for short-term rentals when looking for an apartment. Just type short-term rental into the More search filter. Other search terms that can be helpful to try are corporate housing or furnished apartments, as well as month-to-month lease. You may also employ a qualified real estate professional that specializes in short-term rentals, or use a short-term rental agency. Number 2. Decide which amenities matter. Living in an apartment for 3 months is a completely different experience than living there for a year or more. Your calculations on how much you're willing to spend on certain amenities may be different. Rather than spending money on transporting a number of items in and out again, it may be better to just rent a furnished house. If you're living somewhere month to month while trying to decide if a new city is right for you, paying for a place near your work with utilities included and a gym could save you from having to sign up for services you're not ready to commit to. Number 3. Look into the place's legal status. Since the rise of online vacation rental sites, there has been pushback from residents in some communities. Some places have passed ordinances regulating short-term rentals that define rules for things like noise, trash, and parking, and fines for non-compliance. And in some places, the rules are even more restrictive. In New York City, whole apartment rentals of less than 30 days are illegal, and many apartments are co-ops, which are not permitted to offer short-term leases. Make sure to conduct some research before making a decision. Find out what the local rules are for short-term rentals, and make sure the place you'd like to live complies. Understanding local legislation can also assist you in avoiding a rental scam. Number 4. Adjust your budget for a short-term rental lease. Like many other rentals, you'll need to pass a credit check, give references, pay a security deposit, as well as cleaning fees, and first and last month's rent up front. While those are typical experiences when renting an apartment, doing them all every month, 3 months, or 6 months adds up. Make sure your budget is prepared for the shift. Finally, make a budget for greater monthly rentals than you may be accustomed to with longer-term rentals. Short-term rentals might include additional fees, since you're not committing to a longer-term lease. Consider these factors while determining how much rent you can afford. One more thing to work into your budget. Flexibility. When the lease on a short-term rental expires, a landlord can change the terms of the lease. So, if you decide to stay, be ready for any changes, such as a rent increase. If short-term rentals are on one end of the spectrum of different types of rentals, on the other end is rent-controlled apartments. Check out our guide on rent control to learn all about them. Short-term rentals are becoming more and more popular, which is why real estate agents need to know how these properties work. In this in-depth video, you'll learn about the benefits of short-term rental investments, as well as some tips for real estate professionals who want to get into this lucrative market. You won't regret watching our videos.